It's not quite an iPad, and nor is it an e-ink note-taking tablet. It's the Huion Note E. It's somewhere in between, and in this video, I'll show you what happened when I use it as a notebook, my use case that worked surprisingly well, and whether I see it being part of my setup full-time. Let's dive in. So full disclosure, this device has been kindly sent to me by Huion, and we agreed that I have full freedom and can say whatever I want. Now, the thing that made me really intrigued was how they packaged it as an electronic notebook, specifically for digital note-taking, reading, and drawing. And I like that concept, but I don't know how different or similar it will be with my iPad or my e-ink tablets. And I wanted to find out whether it could actually fit into my gentle productivity setup, which just means a more intentional and focused approach to planning, tasks, and consumption. Now, before I go to my experience, when I unboxed it and it came with this nice box, I found the hardware and form factor really pleasant. So it's similar in size to an A5 notebook, which I'm going to show you. So this is my Hobonichi 5-year. Let me just zoom out. And this is what it looks like. And the bezel here on the left even mimics the spine of a composition notebook, and it has some texture to it, which I really like. And this one has an anti-glare display. You don't really see the reflection of the windows, unlike this one. So it actually looks better in person than it is showing in the screen. So I think you'll see it better when the light is in its minimum. So they call this display the soft light display, and that term actually quite encapsulates the feeling of looking at this device. It's still too bright to read in a completely dark room, even at the lowest setting, but when I'm on my desk, it feels better than reading or watching something on an iPad. It's also very light at just 348 grams, as they said on their website, and this one actually feels small enough for me to see myself carrying it around a lot. It also has an EMR stylus that doesn't need charging. This magnet is strong, but I can imagine when it's in your bag, it might just come off easily when it's pushed around with the other objects inside your bag. So they have this thing, and then you just put it in there. And then this one, plus the magnet, makes it more stable. So the package actually came with a lot of extra nibs. So it came like this, and it also came obviously with a stylus, and then a charging cable, which I'm already using, so it's not here, and then some documentation. So that's all you get. So I suppose there will be some wear and tear in the nib. That's why they added those. The device also has a fingerprint sensor up here, which I like. That for an extra layer of security. At the time of this recording, the Huion Note E retails at $369 USD and includes the tablet, the cover, and the stylus, which is almost half the price of my remarkable Paper Pro, this one, with my script, and the iPad mini with USB Apple Pencil. So my approach for this tablet was just to tinker with it and see where I might be drawn to use it. I already have an e-ink and paper workflow locked in, and I'm going to leave here my video about my notebook ecosystem. So I'm surprised that I actually looked forward to using it. And going in, I thought I'd be drawn to the two main things it's built for, which are the notes and the reading. But when I was setting it up, I was also keen on downloading apps and using it as you would a tablet. So you have the menu on the left, but these ones having notes and to-dos, and the apps are its own menu, does something to the brain that just makes you want to use it for taking notes, actually. And I also tried to use it as a note taker for my YouTube ideas. And you have different options, the fountain pen, the ballpoint pen, highlighter pen, and so on. So different colors as well. And I haven't tried it for drawing, but it also has tilt and pressure sensitivity. And then you can also adjust the thickness of the strokes here. And my niece actually enjoyed drawing on it. I also saw a video from Teo on Tech who used it for sketching outdoors using the Concepts app. So I'll leave the link in the description box below if you want to check that out. Going back, so aside from those pen options, you can also add screenshots. And also there are sharing options. You can share just the current page or the whole notebook in PDF, Huion Note E proprietary format, JPEG, or video. And there's another feature that I actually found interesting that I wanted to show you, and that is to record. So let me just make a new notebook here. And then you can also choose the paper, the color, and then the cover. So there's this option here to record your audio. So when you tap on that, then it starts recording. Write notes while it's recording. So let's listen to the recording and how it sounds. On that, then it starts recording. And then you can write notes. So as you could already probably hear, it's not the best sound quality. You have the mic here on the left. So in a noisy room with several people talking, I wouldn't rely on it. But for a quiet meeting or recording your own thoughts and maybe just a backup recording, then it's fine. Then you can either play the note back and watch your pen strokes. And then you can also tap on something from your notes and then it will go specifically to that part of the recording, which I find really neat. So I can see that being useful in a meeting where I need to take minutes and can't write fast enough. So I just make a mark, as I said before, and then later I go back to that exact part instead of listening to the whole thing again. You can also search across your notes through handwriting recognition, which is handy. But what I don't like is that it doesn't highlight that part. I would have to look for it myself. So when writing, the feeling is surprisingly good for an LCD screen. It's not as slippery as an iPad. There's still a bit of friction in there. But it's also not as paper-like as, for instance, writing on a Remarkable. So let me just quickly show you. But yeah, for me, overall, it's still a satisfying experience. Reading was the other thing I expected to do here. So with something like this pouch zine, it's a combination of text and photos. It's really pleasant to read here. I always keep the light levels under 50% and they're plenty comfortable. It also has the night light setting. It turns it into like an amber shade, which is really nice for late night reading. It also has a reading mode, which turns everything into grayscale. Now, the problem is when we go to PDFs with hyperlinks. So for instance, this is the planner that I designed, which I'll also link up down below for the Remarkable Paper Pro. The links work fine and I can use it as a planner. Now, I tried loading that here and the links don't work. I tried it on Notability and then it does work. So yeah, I guess that's the Huion Note E's proprietary note-taking app that doesn't include hyperlinks. So I can't really use it for my traditional planning method like this. Also, downloading PDFs with a lot of pages like a book or a yearly planner for annotation to the device is very slow. It's okay if you just want to view it, but if you want to highlight or write on it, you first have to download it on your device, and adding it to a notebook takes long as well because it seems to do that page by page. For a few pages, it's almost instant, like maybe 5 pages, 10 pages. But for instance, this 700 plus page file that I have, it took some time. So I think they should improve this aspect. So the second thing is file and app organization. And I can't remove the pre-installed apps, which adds to the bloat and clutter. I also can't reorganize the apps. And the big one for me, for this to be a usable digital note taker, I need the option to be able to export my notes to an editable format like a .txt or a .doc. I usually do my thinking on the device and then do the polishing and executing on my desktop. I can do these things on my Remarkable and Super Notes, so I hope the Huion team is taking notes. So those are my gripes. And to be honest, at this point, I wasn't sure this device would stick around, but I was still picking it up every day. And what I actually used it for were these two things. So first, I used it for my to-dos. Since I'm already doing admin tasks anyway on the device, so I have Notion here, to track my YouTube analytics, check my Etsy shop, and then to do also some browsing and then reading. So I just go directly to my to-dos. So the priority input is handwriting, schedule, video. It reads your handwriting and then turns it into text. I like that you can also make a nested task list. Now you can only add the task for the first time by writing it down, which is good because I think it serves the note-taker identity of the device. But it can be frustrating to not have the option for keyboard input if you want it. So here, if I want to edit it, then the keyboard comes up. But for the first time, can't do that. And you can only sort them by creation time or priority. here, and that's it. Although you do have like today to-dos, overdue, priority, and then complete it. And then towards the end of the week of my review, I found a use case I hadn't thought about at all when I unboxed this, which is planning my upcoming bike packing trip. I find that my phone screen is too small for that, and having an Android OS means that most of the apps I need for this task can be loaded on here, so I can see the map very well. For instance, let's take a look at this one. So this is the one that we're gonna do. So it's really handy to be able to zoom in. So I can also read, for instance, this is a blog post of someone that we're taking as a reference for the trip. So I can just, take notes here and then read it offline. And I also made a notebook. So here I wrote a quick list of my trip essentials, and then I took a screenshot of the map, highlighting the stops that we're gonna make, and then what the reference route looks like from the blog post. So yeah, I think that's really helpful. It's just a pity that every time I switch apps, for instance, when looking at the map and taking notes, the Notes app closes on its own. So let's try that one. So yeah, for instance, okay, I'm going to switch to my Mappy, and then okay, I know that I want to go there. I'm switching back to my Notes app, but it's not there anymore. So I just have to go back to the notes again, or to the home screen, and then open it again, but I don't know now where it is. Here you go. So it's just not fluid, and it slows down the process unnecessarily. And I hope they fix that in a future update. All things considered, it still works, and I'm actually taking it on the trip itself as my primary route planning device, alongside my other slow tech pieces like my XT Ink X4 Pocket e-reader and my remarkable Move for creative thoughts and ideas while on the trip. So at the beginning, I said it's not quite an iPad and not quite an e-ink tablet, and it really seems to sit in the middle. So it's an Android tablet with special reading and note-taking functions that make it a good hybrid device for light productivity and for use as a leisure note-taker or reader. The paper-like component is there, so it's in the special reading and note-taking functions, and it's in the notebook-like feel and size of the hardware. But until improvements are made in how files and notes are organized and exported, it's still more of a productivity supportive tablet that does some notes rather than a standalone note-taking device for deep thinking, at least in my workflow. But it's staying with me, and it will be part of my notebook and gentle productivity ecosystem as a device I'd pick up for the kind of task I just described. So something like trip planning, where you need reading, writing, mapping, browsing, and a to-do list all in one device, and you're away from your desk, and you need a portable, light, small thing you can take with you. This is where the Huion Note E works for me. So if you're looking for an all-around tablet that costs half of an iPad, it's as light and portable as an A5 notebook, is easier on the eyes right out of the box, it lets you draw or take some notes from time to time, then you might want to check it out. If you're interested, feel free to use my link in the description box below. Alright, see you in the next one, and until then, stay paperful.